Hello everybody, today I'm going to give you the ultimate HackerPod guide on how to hack any game out there, no matter what kind of system you're playing on, and how to do it safely, because we want to be safe when we're doing this. If you want to go out there and just download the first thing out there or use the first generator you find and get infected with malware and scammed, then you be my guest, you do you. If you're following this guide, I'm going to show you how to do things properly without risking your devices getting hacked or you getting scammed or you getting infected with malware, which is prolific in this sector of the internet, as you may have already noticed. The first step is you need to know some basic information about the reality of game cheating. So first off, 95% of cheats out there are fake. At hackerpod.net, just Google hackerpod or game hacks. You'll find a table that shows you how many cheats are fake. So for example, unlimited money cheats, they're going to be fake 94% of the time. Unlimited gems are going to be fake 99% of the time. And generators are going to be fake 100% of the time. There's literally not one legitimate one out there. So as you can see, there's a lot of fakes and weird stuff out there. And you're going to want to avoid that if you want to stay safe. Then, not all cheats are possible in all games. That's very important. So just because a game has money doesn't mean unlimited money is possible. We're going to go more into that later. Not all possible cheats are available. So just because an aimbot, for example, is possible in a certain shooter, that doesn't mean that the aimbot actually exists for download. You may have to actually program it yourself, which 99% of you are not going to be able to do. So then, number 4, all cheats are possible in offline games. This is important. So an offline game is a game where all of the data is processed on your physical device, which means you can modify all of it, which means all cheats are in theory possible. However, that doesn't mean that there are scripts and software out there to enable all cheats in that game. It depends on how popular a game is and not only on what kinds of cheats are possible. Then, the cheating options in online games are limited by server-side processing. Now, for those of you guys who don't know what server-side and client-side is, basically, your client is your phone, your PC, your console, or whatever else device you're playing on, and the server is a computer that you connect to through the internet. If your game requires the internet to work, then there is a server side in your game which is going to limit the cheats that are possible, because while you are able to modify data on your physical device, in your hand, in your room, you cannot do so on a game server. That's just the way, the reality of things at this point. So, cheats are most available on Windows PC and Android. So keep that in mind. Now, cheats do exist for iOS as well, for example, but they are far rarer than on Android or PC. Consoles, well, unless you are looking to cheat in a game that is available on a last gen console, it's almost impossible, as these consoles are notoriously hard to install custom code on. Number 7, cheating is very risky. So not only are there 95% scams and fakes and malware out there, it's also risky if you're actually using legitimate cheats. There is a chance of getting banned from the game, especially in online games, of course. And also, you have to, by nature, install slightly shady software developed by some guy in his basement on your device, which is inherently risky. Of course, if you're installing something that has a signed key by Microsoft, so you know that Microsoft developed it or Apple developed it, it's going to be a lot safer than if it's just some guy programmed an APK or an exe file in his basement. You never know what you're going to get. So it's very important to take measures to keep yourself safe. So then, what do you need to actually hack games? It's not that much that you need. But there are things that not everybody has. So for example, I highly recommend, no, I implore you to have a second PC or phone or whatever else console you're trying to cheat on. So if you have the latest Android phone or the latest iOS phone, get another one, an older one maybe, to test your cheats on, or use emulators and virtual machines. So these are basically programs you can install on a PC. For example, there are Android emulators or virtual machines for Windows, Linux, iOS, I'm not 100% sure, but they are basically OSs, so operating systems, that run on another operating system in a closed container where nothing can escape. So if you, for example, install a virus on an emulator, it will only be able to infect the emulator and not your actual device that you're running the emulator on. So it is a container that keeps you safe from malware, from phishing, well, phishing not necessarily, but from any kind of malicious attack on your device. Then, second, you need a lot of time. Even this video is longer than a lot of people expect to spend on getting cheats for their games, because people these days are extremely impatient. They just want to push a button and have unlimited gems in their game, but that is not how it works. I am sorry to disappoint. There are no 10-second solutions for cheating in most games, aside from specifically, for example, modded APKs for single-player games, where you simply uninstall the game, install the modded APK, and within 30 seconds you're basically ready to go. But for most games, that is not the case. You need some patience, all right? Even this video is going to require patience for you to watch, that most of you probably will not have, and that's just the reality of it. If you want a 3-minute solution, it simply does not exist in most cases. Then optional, if you're looking to cheat in an offline game, in anything that's not an offline game, you are probably going to need money, all right? So premium software is generally safer because, here's the thing, if you download something for free that somebody put a lot of time into, you have to ask yourself, how is this guy making money off of what he's having me download? And if you didn't pay him money, then the likelihood is that you are the product, okay? Same thing for Facebook, Instagram, and so on. If you're not paying for it, then you are the product. They're selling your data. And in the case of cheats for games, often there's malware. So don't get malware. It's highly unlikely, if you paid for a cheat, that it's going to be infected with malware. So if you have the money to do it, pay for the software that you're using. The first step of actually starting to cheat in games, now you know everything that you need to know, you know what you need, you're ready to go. The first thing you're going to want to figure out is to figure out what cheats are possible in your specific game. So how do you do that? Now on HackerPad.net, we made tables of what kinds of cheats are possible in what games. Now, Google is not a good way to find those, so what I recommend is you use Brave Search and you just Google, for example, HackerBot and your game name. So for example, Roblox is the one I use as an example. What cheats are possible in Roblox? Let's go. And here you can find the table. This is just based on my personal experience, my knowledge of online, offline games and the specific games. I'm just giving you an overview of what kinds of cheats are possible, what kinds of cheats are available, what kinds of cheats are impossible. It's very useful in then finding legitimate cheats, because if, for example, in Roblox, somebody is claiming that their mod includes unlimited Robux, then you know that's impossible, it doesn't exist, so therefore it's fake. So go through that table. Just use Brave Search, because Google these days just doesn't work to find anything related to game cheats. And just search for HackerBot plus your game name, and you'll find this table. We're creating more of these tables as we speak to give you the latest information on what's possible in what game and what is not, more importantly. So that's what you need to do. And then the general rule is, as we've already gone over, offline games, everything is possible. Online games will store a lot of data on the servers, which cannot be modified. The data that is most often stored online will be, of course, your money, your items, your skill points, your HP, your mana, your energy, and of course in-game purchases. So free in-game purchases are generally not possible. There was a time where some online games it was possible to actually emulate in-game purchases, but those times are long gone. So having gone through that, you now know what kinds of cheats are possible in your specific games and what kinds of cheats are impossible, so you are prepared to tell the fakes from the real stuff. Now, the next step is to actually find legitimate cheats. And of course, what we recommend you use is our tool at hackerbot.net that allows you to actually find legitimate cheats. There's going to be a link in the description that will take you to this article, or just go to hackerbot.net just by Googling Hackerbot or game hacks, or rather use a Brave search, because it seems to be easier to actually find us at this point, as Google, just when it comes to game cheats, they are doing some weird stuff. So what you gonna want to do is open up our tool that allows you to search for game cheats. This will allow you to simply enter the name of your game. So for example, Roblox, and then choose your operating system, Android, iOS, Windows, and the kind of cheat you're looking for. There's also an advanced version with more options, but this version will do just fine for my purposes. So Roblox, Android, mod, let's go. This will search for legitimate cheats. So there's a huge list of legitimate websites that provide legitimate cheats for all kinds of games. We're looking for your specific cheat on those websites, and you'll be able to check those out. This, for example, has cams, so you will see players through walls and other increased lights, increased shaders. There's also going to be, for Roblox in specific, as far as I know, physics cheats where you can fly or jump really high and do other related stuff. There's also going to be tools that you can use. So for example, GameGuardian.net has scripts for Game Guardian that you can use to modify the game using ready-made scripts through that software. Platin Mods, also very well known for providing legitimate cheats for all kinds of Android games. So from here, you simply go to the sites, you check out what they're offering you, if the version number, so if these cheats are up to date. It's very important what kind of version of the game they're made for, especially for mobile. And then you can take it from there. So you install those cheats. Again, it's not going to be an easy process, which is why I'm not showing it right now, because installing actual cheats will take a bunch of time that I don't have in this video. At this point, you're going to want to make sure to check the comments, if it's undetected, if there's no malware, and so on. Make sure to validate before you download to stay 100% safe. And then you're going to want to install that stuff not on your main device, but on the before mentioned secondary device or emulator or virtual machine to keep your main device safe. There's also, if you do not find any cheats for your specific game on hackerbot.net, then you can try to create your own cheats. Now, for example, you can use memory editors that allow you to edit game memory. There's a tutorial in the link down below. Then you can also use game hacking tools in general, patchers, and other software such as, for example, scripting software or macro software to create your own bots and your own macros for a lot of games that may be effective or may not be in your specific case. Then there's also exploits and glitches. These do generally not require downloads, also very useful, however, very rare. And other cheating methods, you can check them out at the link in the description as always. Again, so the fourth step is testing your cheats. Again, test on a secondary device, test on a virtual machine, test on an emulator if possible. If that is not possible, test on any secondary device, so your second phone, your second PC, whatever, a PC that you don't care about, a phone you don't care about, if it gets infected. That's very important to keep you 100% safe. And then once you've verified that the software that you downloaded is safe to use, there's no malware, you're not getting any issues with your device crashing or anything like that, and you're not getting banned, you switch over to your main device and your main account. Again, if you're using a secondary device, also use a secondary account, because what's the use if you test on a secondary device and your main account gets banned? Use a second device, use a second account to test your cheats. I know it takes time, I know it's annoying, but if you want to do this safely and properly, it is something that needs to be done. Even if you 100% trust a certain source, please do this. Please do not skip it. You might regret it one day if you don't. So then, of course, fifth step, keep your cheats updated. This is going to depend. Some cheats are going to update automatically, especially PC cheats that you paid for. Free ones you may have to download over and over and over again. Always use the newest version, which is, of course, more of a hassle. It's more difficult to do. Also with APK mods or iOS mods, you're going to have to download the latest version over and over and over again. And you're going to have to wait for the developer to actually update, if they ever do. Again, using premium subscriptions here will help you, because if you pay for the software that you're using, then the developers are actually incentivized to update quickly to keep their customers satisfied and keep them paying, which makes them money. So if you want the best stuff, consider buying a subscription. They're generally better, they're generally safer to use. So the frequently asked questions, does this work for online games? Yes, as I've already gone over, it can. Of course, the cheating options will be very limited. Then are game hacks safe to use? Again, no, they are absolutely not. There is more fake stuff out there, more scams and malware than you can possibly imagine. You are going to want to take the utmost care to keep your device and your accounts safe. Is it legal? Yeah, it generally is. You're modifying data on your own device. You're not interfering with the game servers in any way. You're not unfairly competing with the developers. You're going to be fine unless you live in a place like South Korea, for example, where game cheating is outlawed. I don't know what exactly the punishment is over there, but in most legal jurisdictions, cheating in video games is absolutely legal. You're just, messing with things on your own device, and it's just a game. So, can I get unlimited money in online games? Again, outside of very rare exploits. If you want to learn more about exploits, there's a link in the article as well. No, it's basically impossible outside of rare exploits to get unlimited money in online games, unless, of course, you choose to spend money and use the pay-to-win method, which, of course, is enabled in most games and is the most available cheat out there. Just pay the developers of the game, you will win the game as well. So anyways, guys, that is it. That is the ultimate mega guide on how to hack games. If you liked the video, consider subscribing and leaving a like. If you have any questions, let me know down below in the comments, and I will see you guys next time.